What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Overkill's DIY Let's Design a Cockpit. In the previous segment, we designed the 3D print for our gauges, and now today we need to weld all the pieces together. And so if you guys haven't checked out that previous stream, you guys are interested in how to use Tinkercad to create a 3D design, this is obviously very simple. I am not a professional, I want to emphasize that, but it definitely gives you a good place to start. I'm really big on DIY. I want people to feel empowered to sort of design their own stuff and, you know, learn what I've learned. I still have a long way to go. But so today what we're going to do is we're going to be welding all of these pieces together and turning them into one unit. Now, with your welds on plastic, they have a front and a back. So the back, you will always tell, is a bit more scorched up, always looks a bit uglier. There's your front. Okay, now we're going to be covering this with a dark vinyl when we're all done anyway, so I'm not too worried about how front and back looks. But the first thing, speaking of which, is we need a way to mount these, or mount our monitor. We have a 16-inch monitor, for those of you who don't know, that are going to be sliding behind the gauges, obviously, to give us our touch screen, or not a touch screen, but just our screens. So first, we need to figure out a way to do that. So what I'm doing first is, let's find OBS here. What is that one? I don't know what that is. Let's find OBS. Let's turn that off for our display capture, and here we go. So this is what I used, for the Peterbilt gauges that I have. So we're just going to be using the same mount. Luckily, we already have that. Just need to make a couple copies of this. So let's clone it. Let's clone it twice, because we want to have an access point. So we're going to have 3 of these, and then we're going to line the back with some felt. That way the screen can't get scratched. We're going to do that, and let's slice the plate, and let's send these off to the printer. We're just going to send. Get the printer going while we're chatting. These will probably be done before we are done today. They usually don't take that long. And then to do our welding, what we're going to need is, I always use a little bit of filament. You can use whatever filament you want. You can pull some off the spool. You don't actually need the filament. I use it just as a filler. And then you just need a standard soldering iron. Okay, so let's get the camera back up. Boom, there we go. And let's begin. So this is pretty fun. It's nice, actually, kind of a soothing process, honestly. So I'm going to start with these corner pieces here. Make sure you guys can see that. And I take my soldering iron and I crank it as hot as it can go. Trying to do this in a way that the cable doesn't get in the way of you guys. A little awkward here. And then we're just going to get it, and we're just going to drag it across both sides. You can see it already starting to weld. Careful of how deep you go. Like I said, I am no professional, guys. And if you really want to clean it up afterwards, you know, that's where sanding paper will come in real nice. There we go. Now I'm going to bring this one in while it's still hot. And what I like to do is get it nice and hot and then push. A nice push in there. And now that we have that, I'll push down up here and just start working our way around. Try to keep those edges nice and flush with each other. But it's sort of a fun process to do. And again, you don't have to push hard. It's kind of relaxing. If you keep your blade nice and hot, it goes really quick. And depending on what you're doing, you can also do a crosshatch, which I'll show you guys in just a second. And that's where you can come back, go left to right. I don't normally do that. What I'll do is I'll do some filler rod, which I'll show you guys here in a little bit. I'll be honest, welding metal is probably easier than this. I'm gonna have to put my hand in the way for a second. Sorry guys, I gotta pinch these corners together. There you go, just like so. But so today we'll get this done. We'll probably get the felt on the back. Like I said, by the time that we're done with everything, we should be ready to get the screen behind it. And we'll start setting up the screen in Air Manager is what I'm going to be using for that. But just like that. And you can see, works really well. Bonds them really nicely together. And again, making sure, so with this, what I would do is I'm going to actually get these corners together first, and then I'll worry about the bottom. This is far more flexible. I have more room to move it. So we're going to get these top pieces up and running. I'm going to get those corners lined up as straight as I can. Come on. It's sticking to the plate underneath, or the pad underneath. It's pretty damn close, but I am a little bit on the OCD side, so I try to keep everything as close as I can to straight. And whenever you have to put tension, obviously hold it for a second, let it cool. But this is a great way when you have a 3D print that you need to print in multiple pieces. This is the best way to get that going. So as I heated that, this corner sat down, by the way. So that's the other thing. If you have an issue where the filament where you welded before is causing a problem, heat it, push everything into place, and then you'll be good to go. Let's do one more here in the middle. Now if this was metal, I'd be telling you to tack on front and back so that way it doesn't warp. But since it's plastic, we'll be able to push it back down into place. It's not going to be that big of a deal. But then just come back and rinse and repeat. I recommend always pulling it. So pull, don't push. If you push, you'll dig. You don't want to do that. You don't want these big craters in here if you can avoid it. Like I said, eventually I'll be covering this with a nice, probably a black, maybe some sort of black dark wood grain vinyl for our cockpit. Give it that wood grain look to it. You know, I didn't even think about a 3D pen burger. I don't have one, but that's pretty cool. I hadn't thought about that. A 3D pen would work, yeah. This is Justin over at atsaccessories.com. He told me about this, and this was... And it sort of works for me because it makes a lot of sense because I understand welding metal. So this is a very similar principle. Put your hot end down, let it get hot, give yourself a puddle, and then just start dragging. I will say because of the grooves in the print, your tip will tend to want to wander, like you guys have seen it do a couple times, but again, we're going to sand it all down, clean it up eventually anyway. I'll probably get all the controls configured first, but 3D pen's a good idea. I didn't think about that. So again, pinching that corner, notice that we have a gap here, but my big thing is the corners. I want the corners to be aligned more than anything. Otherwise, that corner will pull further and further away as we heat out the rest of it. So again, as we're here, I'm going to heat this corner, give it a bit of a push. If it's not perfect, it's okay. This is just flight sim gear. I can't stress enough. Always remember, if you're gonna cover it with vinyl or something, the biggest thing about the vinyl is the seams. You will be able to see them if you don't fill them with something. But I'll worry about that part off screen. I am going to show you guys how I use the filling rod here in a second. So then what I'll do is I'll take, this is where your 3D pen idea comes in better, honestly. You don't have to, you can skip this portion of it. But what I'll do is I'll take some filament, just like you would solder, or if you guys have done any welding, same principle. Okay. And it can sometimes be a pain in the butt to get to lay where you want, but we'll just sort of start here. And to fill in some of these big grooves, especially if you have a deep dig, if you did dig on accident or you burn too far, you just take your filament. It's my finger. I lifted it up. I'm trying to make sure I keep it in the camera. So I keep lifting it. And so if you need something with a really good weld or you're trying to fill in a groove, this is a great way to do that. And then again, you can just sand it down later. And to sand it, you can either do it by hand. I've done it with a Dremel. I actually did it with a 4.5-inch die grinder. Bit the bullet and got a CNC machine. That's one hell of a bite to the bullet. Oh yeah, I'll show you. We'll do the panel here in a bit, or the felt. Oh, what did I do? Bumped a button. ASMR vids. Just for you, buddy. Just for you. Yeah, the felt, you know, I can show you real quick. Hang on, let me go get it. I'll at least show you what it looks like, because I don't know if we'll get to the felt today. But I'll get it for you. My apologies, I had to go to the other room to get it. But this is, oh, what am I doing that for? Where's this camera pointing? There we go. This is what I used. It's real thin, double-sided felt. So this side obviously facing, so we'll do it like this, essentially. Just like that. And so that way when the screen touches the here, it touches the felt instead. Hey, if it does the job, I still think it'd be cool to have a CNC machine. Some of these tools that are out there now are getting so cool, though. Just the fact that technology's even there now, you know? Like for us. So anyway, I'm not going to spend too much time doing the backfill. I know you guys are probably interested in the gauges. How do you make the gauges? We are going to be using, like I said, Error Manager. My biggest thing is just trying to keep the flow above the plastic so it makes it easier. To sand it. Speaking of ASMR, I totally got lost in that one. And you don't even really, when you're doing the backfill like this, you don't even need to drag it. Just let the tip sit down. Like, see, I let it sink too far on that one. But it certainly makes it a lot easier to clean it up afterwards. And it makes it obviously a lot stronger. One of the other things that I do, and this actually, so this one I'm using PLA for PLA. But what I did on previous ones where I wanted a bit more strength is for the backfill rod, I used PETG on top of PLA, and it worked great. Oh, dude, you ain't lying. I was just talking to Know Your Joe for a while, and we were talking about all the different hobbies, and I've got so many things I want to do. I actually bought a new welder. My dad took his welder back. God forbid he take his welder back, right? But so I bought a welder, and it's out on the kitchen table right now, so I got to get it back out and set up so I can finish making all the hardware to mount all the flight sim stuff to the rig behind me. Because the goal is I want to be able to have a very fast process to switch the rig, the DOF Reality H3. I want to be able to switch it between flight and driving very quickly. And so all these projects that I'm doing, they're all part of that grand plan. There we go. Oh, Tiny, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. That's the goal, dude. I don't do this to make money. I do this to show you guys what I know. I think that there's so much potential that's been lost because we don't do enough DIY. And what sort of spawned the idea of showing this, I was initially just going to do it. You know, when I did this video the other day, the last live stream where we designed all this, I was just going to do it. And I was like, you know what? I was like, why don't I show everyone else what I do? And like I said, I'm no pro. I'm learning as I go. Like, as I'm doing this right now, this is probably only my 5th or 6th time doing plastic welding. So I'm still very much learning, but I understand the principle. And like what I'm doing right here, I'm learning different ways and methods of smoothing the plastic back out. Yeah, I think it's going to come together cool, man. I'm really excited. So with the welding, like the actual welding in the garage, my project in the garage, my goal is to sort of create a frame and post system. So I'm going to have all of my flight instruments, or at least most of them, attached to a frame. It's going to be just a metal 16-inch square tubing, maybe 3/4-inch tubing, 16 gauge. Nothing heavy. Like, I don't want to add a ton of weight to it, and it doesn't need to. Again, it's not. We're not holding the Titanic here, like I keep stressing in all of these videos. You know, even with this, I probably don't need to do this backfill. We're not holding any weight with this. It just needs to hold its frame. And honestly, after this line, I'll probably stop and go to the back. But the idea is that for most of the hardware, there will still be some limitations, but I'll be able to just unlock a couple of nuts that hold everything in place, pull everything out, set it, lean it against the wall in like a nice display or something, some way that's aesthetically pleasing. Pick up the driving rig if I want, shove most of that in, you know, attach the steering wheel, and I mean just the steering wheel, which, by the way, we have an 18-inch wheel now for the trucking sim that I'm going to show. We have a real SCI trucking wheel. Although I'm a little worried that 18 inches was too big. Giggity, have fun with that joke. So like here we have a kind of overlap. I don't know if I'm going to be able to heat this enough, but we're going to try. Give that a push. I think that's the best I'm going to get. Let that cool. Hey, Cloud Strider, how you doing, man? Oh, nice, man. Dude, you know, I'm glad you were able to make it work with Creality. So I had wanted to get into this whole process years ago, and I had the Creality Ender 3 V2 Pro. And in 3 years of fighting with that damn thing, I maybe got 3 successful prints out of it ever. Finally gave up, got rid of it. And then, again, my buddy at ATS Accessories, he told me about the A1, and that thing is basically plug and play. Took me 15 minutes to get it set up, and I've had 3 prints fail on it ever, and that's because I loaded it with PETG, but told it was PLA because I didn't know it was PETG because I didn't read the stupid label when I got it. But other than that, it just goes. I've been having such a great time with that printer. And by the way, all of this stuff, when it's done, I'll be putting on my Patreon shop. You guys can get the plans for it there. It'll be like $2 a thing. It's nothing crazy. But I also have the PU Air Korea autopilot panel mounted on the rig. And I created 3D prints for it. Then they can be used as desk stands or vertical stands or inverted stands. Thanks, Cloud. Yeah, we're getting there, man. We're getting there. We got everything all printed out. I got the monitor mounts for it printing right now on the printer. They should be done probably within the next 30 or 40 minutes. It's probably before we're done here, honestly. And then we're going to start with Air Manager. Start creating our gauges. So at some point, I'll step away from the desk and get the monitor that we're going to be using that's on the rig, off the rig and over here. But yeah, it's been cool. Creality is good, man. I know they're good. Like I've seen, and I think that was the frustrating part for me is it was me. Don't get me wrong. It was 100% user error. I have my full-time day job. I have the YouTube. I have the Patreon. I'm a father and a single father at that. I just didn't have the time to dedicate to learn. I knew it was me. I know it was me. There's no answer for buts about it because again, I could watch 1,000 people on YouTube make stuff with it all day long. So it was just, I needed something like the A1. I needed something that was minimal effort, didn't require me to babysit it. I didn't have to learn how to level it and the right filament flow and this, that, yeah, like it just would go. And that's why like I'll probably never get into the advanced 3D printing stuff just because I don't have the time to learn it. But it was definitely me. It's not that the product was bad at all. I just didn't have the time to learn how to use it effectively. And to dedicate to keeping it maintained and working correctly. No, I don't have to worry about the humidity. Thank goodness. You're not wrong about that. I've heard about that. I've heard back east it can be a real BI. Trying to find any of these big gaps and get them filled up first before we start doing everything else. That way it doesn't stretch. So this is awesome, though. Having a lot of fun with this. Hey, Tibbs, how you doing? Ah, thanks, man. Yeah, we're getting there, dude. It's going to look a lot better by the time we're done. I think we'll end this episode when by picking out the vinyl we want to get for it. Let you guys have your input on that. We did have to reprint this piece. I had the angles wrong. We were way too long on the arm, and somehow I had this completely wrong. It still sits about the head's worth above the rig, but I'm also going to put some felt on in here, so I figure that will tighten everything up and close all the gaps. So I think that in the end that was a hidden blessing, but the angle looks much, much better now. If I think about it later, I can actually show you guys I still have the original piece that we printed. But so I did have to make some modifications to that. And what I ended up doing, I don't know why I didn't think about it before, like last time I measured here, all I did here was measure this distance right here. Measured that distance on the actual yoke, and then measured the distance from the top or the bottom of the angle down to the bottom of the deck. Duh. A hot pink vinyl? Careful, bro. I'll do it just for you. Just for you. You better tip if we're doing hot pink, though. I don't undress for anybody. Wait, what? How'd you guys know I wear hot pink? I didn't think I made it that obvious. Hope you guys don't mind the vaping. I'm sorry. It's my vice. Wow. You guys want to know the relationship I have with my father? He just sent me "What up, douche." What up, my buddy? My father and I have a great relationship, by the way. Don't let that fool you. He and I, we go at it all the time. All the time. That movie, Grumpy Old Men, That's really me and my dad. Putz, moron, things like that. And yet, no one else is ever allowed to talk smack about either one of us. One of my sisters, one time, my dad and I were going at it, bantering back and forth, and my sister tried to take my dad's side and try to get in on it, and my dad turned around and just wailed on her, like we just started picking on her. And as soon as that was done, we went back to it with each other. It was funny. And I just rested my hand on hot plastic. I don't recommend doing that. That felt yummy. See, I said, what's on your mind? I said, what's up, buddy? He goes, nothing, just chilling. I'm like, great. I love you too. No, dude, but that freaking hurt. Where is that damn thing? Look at that bastard. That's a war wound right there, man. I went to the supervisor to talk about workman's comp, and he told me to get out of his office. Jerk. I am confident that cardboard cuts hurt more than paper cuts, though. I had a bunch of cleaning to do yesterday, so I'm still renting my house with the market the way it is. Probably will be for a while. And we have a biannual inspection, so it's time for that. So I started obviously doing the deep clean, right? We live perfectly pristine here. And I got, what was I using? Oh, an oven cleaner. And I got it on my finger. Holy shit, that lit it up. Damn, that hurt. I mean, not really. So, I mean, like I said, so dude, I probably don't have to weld both sides. Like, honestly. I mean, you guys, this is a seam right here. You know, you can barely see it. So you could probably get away with just welding one side. Corrugated, F that, corrugated metal. Dude, we used to do those metal screens that you see up in windows, or sometimes you see them on roofs of complexes blocking the utilities. Those corrugated metal sheets, they are razor blades, dude. Razor blades. I damn near lost a finger once because of one. They hurt. Oh my gosh, they're so sharp. I was picking up a big sheet of corrugated metal, and it was the tiny one, the one that just looks little pinholes, right? And I was picking up a sheet of it, and me being the dumbass that I am, dude, I'm so bad about protection. I don't wear masks. I don't wear ear protection. I do wear safety glasses because my eyes are everything. But I don't wear gloves like I should, and so I didn't have gloves on. And you know how they, I don't know if you've ever been around metal, but they all come with a oil on them, and it's to help keep them from rusting while they store. And I went to pick it up, and my hands were already dirty, and it slipped and went wham! It went right through this finger right here, dude. And of course, I have dirty hands oil, so that's in the wound. It's nice. So I'm bleeding oil and dirt. It was fantastic. But yeah, anything corrugated, God, they hurt. Yeah, it's like a knife. You hit it. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I think that's it, guys. One solid piece now. Oops. And like I said, I'll worry about cleaning all this up. We're not going to worry about cleaning that up today. Just because it's a pain in the ass. I mean, I'm pretty sure you all know how to sand. You sand something till it's flat, but I'll catch these edges just because I like doing this. I'm not going to lie. I kind of get bummed out when I get close to the end of a project. But we'll seal it all up. But it works so easy. Or so well, I should say. guys a nice shot here. Where is it? Okay, here we go. Here's your ASMR. Listen to the soothing sound of my voice. Did that work? I got the adhesive backing vinyl. It already has some, but I'll tell you what, you're onto something there. It works great if you have a smooth plate. I don't have a smooth plate for my printer. I need to buy one, and it's literally just because I haven't bought one. So if you have a smooth plate, the vinyl with the adhesive backing works great. But because these are obviously, irrigated, they have grooves and whatnot, it doesn't stick really well. So honestly, I was thinking about a 3M adhesive spray, that spray glue. That's what I used to put my roof together for the truck. You're melting away. So that's interesting that you bring that up. Let me go show you what I was thinking about using. It might be too much though, honestly. All right. Look at that. Coffee delivery. So this is what I was going to... Why do I keep doing that? I'm not used to the camera being right here. This is what I was thinking about spraying this with and then laying the vinyl down on top of that. Because what I found with that other one on the trucking rig is it got a couple parts that are lifting. And they're all inside one of these rings where it's just bubbled. And it's not the end of the world. You can't really see it. If you're like me and you're obsessed with things being right, then you'll notice it. And it really pissed me off when I saw it, because the only way I can do it now, the chrome gauges on my truck are, I use JB plastic weld to set them in, so they're not going anywhere now. And then I went back with some of the welding, the filament, and did the edges even more. I have the Bamboo Labs A1 Colliminator. So that was, where was I going with that? Shit. Oh, so I can't get the gauges out. So now the only way that I can replace the vinyl is I would literally have to trim it, tuck it, like it would be a pain in the ass, like it would be bad. Okay, so let's see what I can do here. I was sort of a dumb shit. I know that's shocking, but I was. And part of my language. But I probably shouldn't have put this bottom piece on until we designed the gauges, because what I was going to do was, this is a different size monitor, but I was going to use this stand, set that on there, and now I can't do that because I got ahead of myself. So we'll probably have to lay it flat. But either way, give me a second, I'll go get it, because I think that would be more fun to do right now. And here, actually, real quick. Let's grab the big mama here. And I'll show you guys how we did. So this is all how we pulled it together on the last video. What is holding that up? Is there something in there? Oh, there's a screw in it. When did I do that? Hang on, I got my mounting screws under it. I didn't realize I didn't take those out. It's probably so I wouldn't lose them. These are all custom ideas here, so I put screws and stuff in crap and then I leave it there. So here is the idea. This will be obviously on the rig. Let me get you guys. What's going on here? And let's see here. Be on that side. Oh wow, welding it really pulled it in. May have to sand that a little bit now. Look at that. Look at that. Holy crap, that is tight. But so, there it is. That's the idea we're going for. And so then we can have other panels come off here. Other panels go this way. Now, if we decide that that is too tall or for whatever reason, we'll just design another one, shrink it down. I mean, those are very large freaking screens. It ain't tight, it ain't right. Well, we definitely got it, but you guys can see what I was talking about here. And I think part of why that's worse than it was earlier. And I think part of that why that's so accentuated is that when we did the welding, it pulled it. So I had to really pull it out. So I'm going to have to sand down the sides of here to let it relax back down. This is really accentuated. You can see the pull right here. You can see it's happening on this side. You can see where it's pulling it out. It's rotating it. But it'll still be cool. So little sanding down this side. That'll allow it to sit back down on this side where it should. And I would say the gap is probably more closer to like what it is here. There is a gap. But then when we put the felt on it, whatever the hell I just did with it, to protect the sides, when you figure the thickness of the felt, oops, I think it'll be okay. I think it'll seal everything up and we'll get rid of any gaps. Now, with it being that tight, the other thing that I'm going to have to think of is I haven't figured out how. I think we're going to try to find a way to leverage these. Now we have to still consider the weight of the monitor, right? So the monitor is going to come back here. So the next development process will be after we set up our gauges is determining how we're going to support the overall weight. So there's going to have to be some sort of verticals or angles that come down here maybe hold here or something. I don't know yet. But that is something that we're still going to have to do. Yeah, dude. I did a news release just a couple days ago, I thought. Wasn't it a couple days ago? Yeah. When did I do my last one? Let's see. I thought it was earlier in the week. YouTube, your channel, videos. I guess it's been a minute. 9 days ago, I guess, was the last one. Sort of have to wait for news to be available, really. I mean, but I do my research on stuff every day, and just it's when I have enough that it's worth it to make a video. Yeah, I absolutely do. News videos are great. Plus, I like to be in the know. All right, how long do we have left on our rails? 27 minutes. Although I could kick that down to 15 by cranking up the printer. But we'll let it ride, right? Okay, so yeah, that is really tight. So I definitely gotta shave some right here. Right about here is where it's digging. You can see the mark here on the side of the panel. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to sand that down so it'll sit correctly. But anyway, let me get this behemoth off the desk. No shit. And I need the monitor. I'm hoping. Oh, shit. Oh, no, you're good, dude. I didn't mean that to be like, pay attention. No need for my bads. No need for that. Although I am going to have a problem with this one. I just thought about something. These two screens use different connectors. The USB cable will be fine. The rest of it won't be. You know what, though? Maybe it will be. I might be able to. Let me see. Oh, that's using that. Shit. And this one does not have HDMI. It's going to be a real pain in the ass if I have to go grab that cable. You see what I do for you guys? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. See all that effort I had to put in? I'm tired now. We also got the pull horn for the truck. I'm going to get that mounted tonight. This should be all I need. Is that? And that. That should be it. What's really cool about this monitor too is it comes with a little stand. So it does make this part pretty easy. And I'll be actually able to share this specific screen with you guys so you can see what we're doing. Let me see if that worked. Did the computer recognize it? It did, but that ain't the right resolution. And you won't let me change the resolution. Why? I hate it when it does this crap. Let me try the other one. There it goes. Cool. Now we've got the right resolution too. Hey David, how are you, bud? The 182Q? Which one's that one? We have a 182? Burger, the idea is general, sort of, kind of a mix between like a TBM 850 and the Duke. But the idea is general use, that I could use it essentially with any aircraft I want, right? And yes, I did upgrade to Air Manager 5. Which I really haven't seen a benefit to yet, but I haven't gotten very far. Air Manager, I am very noob with, by the way, guys. Just to set that precedent, I am not very good with Air Manager. So if you guys are, then you'll be my guides. All right, let's see how we did. Look at that. Waste not, want not, right? Look at that. Perfect. Perfect. Bitchin'. Oof, it is really close. We may actually be able to see a little of the trim in the bottom or the top gauges. I'm going to have to pick which one. We're a little close. We're a little close right here. You can see the very top of the bezel here. Oh, Coronado? Okay, yes, that one I do know. Okay, yeah, I thought you were referencing a new one. Coronados are fun. I just wish they were a bit more detailed in the systems. Dude, I'm going to have to be perfect when I set those stands. But yeah, this might actually be slightly... It is slightly too big. So, I don't know, guys. Trying to decide how much that's going to annoy me. Yeah, one or the other. For inside, that might work. We'll wait till we get the mounts on it and see where we actually wind up. We'll go from there. Maybe, because yeah, it is super close. Yeah, it probably would, because it's barely. I don't even think it's a 1/16 of an inch. But anyway, I really want to be able to... I really wish I hadn't welded that bottom piece on. I'm really kind of annoyed at myself for doing that. Did not think that one through. But I guess we'll try it from here. You guys will be able to see it probably better than me. Let's get into Air Manager. We have 19 minutes left on the print. Okay. Move some of this stuff around. There we go. And let's see here, Air Manager 5. You can see I started playing with something yesterday. So what I did yesterday is I bought the Beechcraft Baron panel, this one here, because I figured this is going to have everything we want, right? The only thing it won't have, and this is where I'll probably have to make multiple profiles, and I mean that's the plan anyways, to have multiple profiles for each aircraft, just based around this design is the idea. But what we'll do is start out with the Duke and the Baron in mind. Any single engine will work on this, right? But it's already got similar gauges, so we can really just copy a lot of this, paste it in, set it where we want. And then what's really cool is I also got Air Manager for my tablet, my iPad. And so the other thing I'm going to do is build or print a slide for it to go into, where it can sort of sit offset as if it was like a radio stack, and maybe use it, see how effective that is, or buy another touch screen, or use this one. This one is a touch screen, which is nice. This one's only 15 and a half, I think, 15 and a half inches, where this one's 16.3 technically, but this one's a touch screen. So it'll be nice for like a radio stack, transponder, things like that. This one, since it's display only, I figured wasn't as critical. The only thing I wish I had done different, and maybe, you know, as this progresses, is that maybe we'll take this one, redesign it eventually, and add things like a couple of encoders to it for like altimeter pressure and things like that. Be kind of fun, but that's later down the road. But so anyway, let's get everything assigned. Let me get OBS set up so you guys can see this screen. Although I guess you guys will be able to see it here. That's technically what it's doing. So if I turn that on. Oh, I have to assign the screen. How do I do that again? Settings? Trying to remember how I assigned the monitor. Nope, wasn't there. Was it here? No. That adds our gauges. How do I assign this to a monitor again? I can't remember how I did that. Scroll down on the panel itself. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. See, you guys are going to be able to help me with this, I promise, because I am terrible with this. Show panel on display, and this was the display. It should be number 5, 19 by 1200. That's correct. There it is. Okay, so now if we go back to panels. No, we were already on the panel. We were already on the panel. Scroll up. Okay. Gotcha. Thank you. Like we are right on it, man. So yeah, if we did a bezel, although I can barely see that, man. This will be a lot easier to refine once I get the mounts on this and we can actually mount it. this here. Let's turn this on. Got an idea for you guys here on this one at least. We can do this. Won't be perfect, but at least you guys get to experience some of it. Would you get over here? Thank you. And don't worry, I'm gonna adjust the cameras and all that. Give me a second here. Let's get this shit out of the way. And actually, you guys will probably help me by doing this. Let's do that. And then let's... Mike! I have too much on my desk right now. It's kind of annoying me. There it is. Oh wow. It's the idea, right? It's the thought that counts. Okay, that should work. Okay. Yeah, this is a good screen. I like this screen. I didn't know about... Thanks, Cloud Strider. Take care, buddy. I didn't know about the arrows. But that does make sense. But let's see here. I do like that it's a live update, though. So the program I use for the truck is called SimHub. And you have to adjust it on the screen, then click the save button, then it updates on the actual monitor that you're using. So this is a lot nicer to do that with. Okay, so we got that. Now, let's see here. How did I do that? This is where you add an instrument. And this is where I can find my G58 again. I think it was that one that I was using. So we got airspeed. Let's do the ADI next. Wow, that's almost the size, isn't it? Dude. Oh, nice. That I didn't know either, as a matter of fact. Now, what if I wanted to... I guess I can't scale it past the monitor, can I? So I'm kind of stuck with the bolts and everything. Yeah, it's pretty close. So far the snapping is okay. Will it go past the screen though? Well, but I guess that's the other catch. How do you turn the snapping off? If it'll let me go past the bezel of the screen, yeah, that would be nice. But even that, it's right at the top already. Maybe this isn't the best gauge for this. Although if we're talking about making bezels, panel settings or general settings. I don't see it in the panel settings. I'll check general settings here in just a second. Make sure I didn't miss anything. I don't see it. Oh, hey. That didn't get rid of the screws, though. It's because they're part of the image, huh? Move front, move back, scale. Let's go to configure again. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Not the end of the world for right now. I mean, we're going to have to make some changes anyway, because I don't know if I'm crazy about the white lines around here. And I can see the screw heads here and here. Like, even assuming... Just play around with it for a minute. Oops. That was too much. How does that look for you guys? Not too bad. Yeah, if I could stretch it out up above the... There's a show bezel setting? Where's that? Oh, okay. Look at you! Probably still gonna have to find a better gauge because I don't know how I feel about the white outlines. Right? Let's see. That's pretty close. And again, if we get our own bezels, and this is just a design concept, so we can keep going. I think that's too big now. Yeah, I think so too. Let's see what we can go find. These are all Airbus. Coronado only has a couple. They're doing the same bezel, and that makes sense from the 58. So let's find a different aircraft. Oh, here we go. That might be better. Ah, it's X-plane only. Damn it. Hey, you have all of these that are compatible for everything, and the one that we want, or the two that we want, aren't. That sucks. Let's do this. There's that one. Oh. Fine, Mr. Smarty Pants. What's under the generic? There, that's the one. It's a heading indicator. I'm not sure ADI actually filtered correctly, though. Here, let's go back to the 172. That actually looked like that might have worked the best. Okay. Oh, there's our Duke. What do you have for the Duke? Oh, son of... It's like there's no one that has everything we're looking for. It's annoying. Although I really like that airspeed indicator. Is that the one that we used? No, that's a Baron. Huh, okay. Where was I? Well, you know what? Out of the interest of learning what you're talking about, let's go back to the Baron one. Let's find this one again. And you said go where now? Find image in question. By code, add. So where do I need to go? How do I get to the code? Isn't that development? But that's for the HSI. That's not an HSI. Do I have to find it in here now? Oh, hey, wait. Oh. Okay, no, I'm gonna wait. You can tell me what to do here. Under here. So let me go back and see what the attitude indicator. So good development. Add new instrument. Nope, that's not one that creates one. They're not adding everything on here, are they? That should just be for the one instrument, right? Our mounts are done. Shit. Alright, I'll play with that later. Let's keep going. I don't want to bore you guys with all that. So let's come back to this here in a second. Let's pull this one out for a minute. Oh, it's not a huge deal. Probably should find a different one for that anyway. Make things easy here. The idea is to keep it simple. So let's go back to the Cessna. I actually thought the one on the 172 was going to work. It seemed a bit simpler. Ugh, but that does look tacky, doesn't it? All right, man, take it easy. All right, it looks like you're going to win anyway. All right, so there's the attitude indicator. Make sure you can see all that. Okay. So there's your images. Horizon, bank, flag. BG, is that background, you think? Can't I just quote that out? Okay. Damn it, I knew that was going to happen. That's not bad. Oh, that one's empty. They're all empty so far. Is it resources? Yeah. Yeah, so that is BG. But we'll miss... Well, maybe not. Can't you just hyphen them out? Yep. Now do you have to save it? Or does it just do it? I'm guessing there's a save button. Then add one for the image add. Oh. Here? Where's the save? Oh, you got that, I thought. It's here right here. That's the background. That's what we were trying to remove. That's it right there. Attitude WBNG. Attitude BG. Oh, that is different. Hang on. Oh, I lied. That is not the one I wanted to do. Stand by. Attitude WBG. Where is it? Display background. User prop add boolean background. Prop BG. Yeah, but that's not the right image according to this. There it is. That is right there. Now if we go back. Now do I need to refresh the panel? Yes, that worked. Cool. It still shows here, but it doesn't show down there anymore. Oh, that just does the same thing. Just trying to see if there was a way to refresh that window, but hey, that worked. Nice. Well, so in that case, let's go back to the other one. Because I liked that one better. Add instrument. That was that one. Let's go back in here. And let's go back to, you said development. And it's got to be that one again. Open folder. Resources. And there's the bezel we're wanting to remove right there. HSI interframe PNG. HSI interframe. HSI interframe PNG. Save. Go back to home. We'll go to panels. Okay. But it looks like it's still showing it here. It's got to be something different. Yeah, it's still showing that. Which we don't particularly want, right? So did I miss something? Although the HSI backdrop looks like it has it too, but it has everything, so we don't want to do that. Outer frame? The outer frame would take care of the bolts, but I was even looking at the white trim that's around it. But yeah, I need to look for that one too. Good call. Alright, hang on. Dial add. These are the variables. These are images. Okay, now those are all the actual functions. Speed of movement. There's the inner frame. There's the outer frame. Wow, this one's tough. This one seems to be doing it regardless. Interesting that it's using this as the HSI because I'm not seeing anything that revolves around the ADI though. Like this almost really does look like it's for the HSI. I'm reading about based on the functionality of it. The other thing that's interesting is I don't have any of these loaded. Must be just normal stuff, I guess. Yeah, maybe. Not the end of the world. You know what? For right now, we'll just put it in with the bolts in it. That way we can keep going. I don't want to bore you guys to death here. We'll figure it out. And it wouldn't be the first time that I've developed my own gauges, so if we decide to go that route, we will. The images I'm comfortable doing. But let's at least get this set up because I want to see what it looks like. So there's that. And then what else do we need? Speaking of the HSI, let's add the HSI. It'll be interesting, you know what? And we'll find out right here too. If we add the HSI and those components are missing, that'll be our giveaway. That it's doing something weird, right? Because there it is right there. No, it's all there too. Interesting. How's that looking though? But you guys can still get the generator. I mean, dude, I can take all this stuff in Photoshop and we'll make our own. Like, I have no problem with that. We'll make it work. Absolutely, we will. Yeah, it's no worries, dude. We'll figure it all out. And plus, making our own gears will be fun anyway. I didn't think about the generic. That's a good point, huh? We can go look. There's 134 in generic. God, it's got everything, doesn't it? Airspeed adjustable. Oh, hey, right there, dude. But they're stacked. That could be a problem with our bezel. Let's try that. You can hide these, can't you? Ah, that's making me ding. Fine. Throw this in. Oh, no, they're separated. Dude, that's perfect. We can totally live with this. Although I don't know if I want the airspeed and everything in it. This is more like the G1000 kind of thing, but let's play around with this. Oh, no, they are together. Shit. I don't really want... Can you... Is there a way to scale them by side? I'm just going to pull it all in it. Oh, that might work out, honestly. Trying to pull it to where the tapes are no longer visible. See what we end up with. And I'll send it to the back in a second. That's not terrible. Oh, I wouldn't have done that, but all right. Oh, okay. Let's do that. That's scaling the whole thing. Oh, preserve aspect. My bad. Let's start from there because I can see the left side. Scale the height. We're still going to miss out on a lot of information though. I wish they were separate, dude. That sucks. Be nice to be able to preserve the course information, but I don't think I can. Let's see what happens when we stretch it to the point where I do. Let's go. Oops. Right there. Guess that's not terrible. Yeah, totally. That's still not bad though. Like it's a good start for a concept. So we'll leave that for there for right now. I do want to send it to the back because I don't want it covering up the airspeed indicator. Okay. So let's stick with the generic gauges though. And we'll definitely come back and peek around. We'll keep an eye out as we're going through these. I like the altimeter. How's that look? That's not bad. Like I said, all this stuff will need to be refined. The idea here is just to get a concept together. There we go. That looks pretty nice. What else? What's next? And we could probably even use that one, honestly. That's really not bad, even with the trim around it. That might be something to think about too. Oh, that would have been a cool altimeter too. And there you go. There's your EHSI that we were talking about. That'd be nice. Yeah, dude, you're right. There's a lot of options here. You got a lot to choose from. It's good to know these are here though, because I'm going to be using these on those touchscreens. Let's put a Hobbs meter in there. Just cuz. Cool. Like I said, I'm not going to worry about scaling everything perfectly until I get the monitor mounted to the back of it anyway, because all these positions could change. This is dope. We got airspeed, altitude. What about vertical speed? That'd be another nice one to have on the big gauges. I didn't see a vertical speed indicator. Did you guys see a VSI? Oh. You know, if I had to deal with that stupid bezel at the top, the monitor bezel, that might be a nice one to use in its place. It would sort of look like it belongs there, you know? Yeah, I didn't see a VSI, which is interesting. There's fuel flow. Alright, let's go back to the Baron for a second. It had a couple. And see, a lot of these gauges, these ones aren't bad at all. Like, honestly, that altimeter is probably even better. If it just wasn't for these. The center ones are the ones that suck. Oil, engine temps, flap control, fuel flow, fuel quantity. Hey, Ha, how you doing, man? Hey, Ha. Manifold pressure. Oh, the manifold pressure. See, but I want to figure out how to do left and right in a single gauge. So I'm going to be looking for the Duke for that. Slip indicator. Gotta have a slip indicator. That's not exactly one that isn't used. Honestly, you guys have a better view of that right now than I do. There we go. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that is a bit annoying because I don't normally like snap. Alright, so I still need a VSI. Gotta have that vertical speed indicator. Last one on the list. All right, what else? What are we missing for the big gauges? We have one more big gauge. And honestly, I should probably move a lot of these around, but let's look at a... It is very powerful. It is very powerful. You are not wrong, sir. Gotta love FS Elite. Boom. Okay, so what do we got? We have airspeed. Oh, they have the ADI way over there, at least standby ADI. And then we have altimeter, vertical speed. ADF. I guess we could do like a compass. We should probably move this to one of the... Well, I can stay there for now. So let's go back through... Didn't I see the B60 though? The Duke. This is the turbine though. Oh shit, you're right. Yeah, no, I didn't even think about that. I was paying attention to that earlier, but then I stopped paying attention. I think they all are. Yeah, we'll add this one and then I'll check. That's a good point though. I did stop paying attention to that. Yeah. I know the Baron ones all are because I bought the Baron for specifically making sure the FS was supported. But that's a good point. Put a VOR. Yeah, let's put the VOR in. Gotta have your navigation, right? What's up, X, my dude? How are you? Alright, guys. How we looking so far? Not too shabby. Few tweaks, couple gauge trims that we'll want to adjust. Not too shabby at all, though. The idea here is I'm going to learn how to get the gauges right. We're going to have torque, inlet temperature, all that jazz, but we're going to try to set up for twin engines. So each gauge will have 2 needles in it. Yeah, that would have pissed me off. I can't blame you there. Oh, good times, man. Hopefully a nice quiet night for you. All right, so the idea would be... kind of hoping that we can find, or at least I can figure out how to develop, because I don't, like I said, I don't mind learning how to do this myself. I really don't. And so ideally what I'd want to do is figure out how to create these kind of gauges, you know, your left and right turbine, your left and right RPMs, etc., but that are single gauge single gauge dual needle readouts. Kind of like what they have. What aircraft is that? I mean, that would be the Baron. The Baron does that. See, that's not right. I'm pretty sure the G58. Oh, maybe it's the 414. It might be the 414 that does that. What about the 310? Ooh, an EDM overlay. That'd be nice for leaning out your engine. Let me look at these. Damn, I wish they had more for that. Fuel gauge. Good one. Manifold pressure. Like that. It's like the manifold pressure. You can tell right there. It's got 2 needles. I was looking at that link just yesterday. Yeah, I have that one saved. Thank you, by the way. That one I have saved. You're absolutely right. It was pretty handy. There we go. Right there. There it is. So here, that's the RPM for left and right. How's that look? I'm getting there. I'm looking at an offset angle, so I'm not always sure. Looks like it's about right. So the 414 might save the day. This is going to be like a hodgepodge of like 20 different airplanes. What kind of plane is that out of? It's a Cessna Baron Duke, newly developed. Where did I just get that? The 414. I was like, where did I get that gauge? All right, so that was RPM. Do we have, and we have a manifold pressure. There it is. There it is. There it is. Sweet. And that's nowhere close to the right size. That's what she said. This is just a 16-inch. Give me a second. I'll show it to you. It's a 16-inch IPS, but I wish I had gone touchscreen, FYI. But I have a 15-inch touchscreen that we're going to implement into this little project too. How's that looking? Let's see. Not too shabby. The Hobbs meter we might ditch. The slip indicator I won't. We need the slip indicator, but I might move it. But there's RPM. And the manifold pressure. We have an altimeter, a vertical speed indicator, the compass. We might do something different with. That's kind of redundant. Still want to figure out something different for the ADI and the HSI. But we're getting there. This is looking good. The concept is coming together nicely, and I'm happy about that. Sorry, the screen. Hello. Hang on, I gotta get into my Amazon. Can't let you see all the stuff I buy for my late night exercises? Yeah. You guys get to hang out with me for most of my late night stuff. Where are you bastard? There it is. That one. Man, like I said, it was a whopping $80. Oh, shit. Nothing crazy. And actually, here, I don't know why I didn't think about that. In the chat. Okay, so what else we got? Let's go back to the 414. 414 is perfect. Perfect for what I'm looking for. Exhaust temperature, yep, there's the EGT, both engines. Fuel quantity, both engines. And we already got a manifold, we got our RPM, prop de-ice. You know, helicopters have gauges in them too, right? I'm just being a shit. Do it, dude. Do it. I do like rotors better too. You know what's funny about rotors for me? I'm a rotor head in DCS. Like die hard. Love it. I will fly rotors in DCS all day long. Did I click off? No. Did I click out of the screen? Fuel quantity, and I guess for now exhaust temperature. Oops. I gotta find a full one for the 414. The 414 literally fits all the bills. I didn't even think about that. Everything is single gauge dual needle. I have to see if there's a more advanced version of the 414. I don't know why I didn't think about that. What's FSW? Huh. Helicopters in DCS are badass. With more of them, you have now the Huey, the Chinook, the Hind, the Black Shark. You have the Apache. You have the Kiowa now. The Gazelle. I'm missing one. There's another one I'm missing, and I can't think of what it is. There's the Freeware Blackhawk. They have a bunch of them in there in DCS now, dude. I own the Chinook, but I haven't gotten to fly it yet. Hi. What's up, Jerbog? My J-Man. The J-ster. My buddy. Perfect, dude. Look at that. So, we got to address this. I don't like it. Let's go find something different for that. Do they have anything for that? What's up, the bearded aviator? How are you, bud? Bearded, you look really familiar. You don't have a TikTok channel, do you? Oh, what are all these? Holy shit. MH60, actually, that's another one that I forgot about, so I'm still missing one. I'm pretty positive I'm still missing another one. But either way, they have a ton of helicopters now. This one looks nice, dude. I like that VSI better too. I might just go with these. All right, I gotta stay focused. What are we working on? Oh, I know we've been talking for a few years, but I mean, like visually, like you look familiar from your picture. Citation, that is not gonna work for what we're doing. The 310, what did it have for the HSI? It didn't, did it? No. What did the 172 have? The 172 gauges look so... bleh. I don't want to use those. G36 obviously isn't going to work. We don't want the G. Excuse me. Let's go back to the generic. Back at you, sir. Back at you. Compass. I don't want the compass. There. Like, let's start with this one. I think that'll... We got... No! It's X-plane only. Damn you. Filter. I don't want them stacked. I need them by themselves. If they have no image, how can you use them? What the hell? Oh, these are light indicators. Damn. Yeah, I figured they'd be the same. I'm actually kind of worried now. When I filter by FS20 and FS24, there's only 99 options. Got 99 problems, but such a stupid song. Yeah, I figured that. Where'd that go? It didn't even add it. That's weird. Okay. Oh, there it goes. 983. Oh no, guys. I'm struggling with the HSI and ADI. Yes, they did. Might just have to stick with these. I hate the bezel. That one's not terrible, though. You know what's funny? That change we made to the code earlier applied. The bezel's gone on the screen. Huh. That's interesting. But very much so works out in my benefit, so I'm not going to complain. All the background is gone now. Yes, sir, it is. Air Manager 5. To be specific. To be Pacific. And then, what are we doing? Did it remove for the ADI too? Because that was the other one that was pissing me off. No, it did not. Damn. Oh, maybe it did. No, it didn't. You suck. Alright, let's go find a different one. One had a few. Okay, so that's what I just put on there, and that worked. Not yet. We just started playing with this today, so it'll be on the list for sure. For sure. You guys have to forgive me. I'm operating on very little sleep. I'm getting weird. Do you guys want to play a game? People are like, all right, on that note, we're out. Let me see what you got, brother. Sorry, I saw that. I wanted to see it too. I'm going to show everybody now. Oh, look at you. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Damn. Dude, that is fantastic. Well done. Well done. That is epic. Yeah, it should be. That's fine, dude. Girls come way before my ugly ass does. They're far cooler than I am. And even tonight, I'll probably be on late tonight driving, so let me know. Let me know, my brother. Let me know. We'll have to go through that whole mod bullshit again. They'll be ready for that. Although I don't have many mods on anymore. Like, I don't have many at all. I got tired of screwing with them. I've been driving pretty vanilla. Alright, I need an ADI, guys. And yes, I know there's that one, but I don't like the bezels. That one at least just has the trim around it. But we got rid of the background on that one too. That is so weird. So the white lines that are going around this gauge here, the white lines going around this gauge are supposed to be a part of the same code, so they're supposed to be here on this one too. They're gone from this one, as is the background, like the bolts and everything, which is great, but they're here on this one still. Well, I'm getting ready to release the Lyra 35 guide finally. I ran into a big bug, and I wasn't able to finish my guide. But I think that bug was actually a mod that was causing a problem, and I did not know that. Was really pissed off the other day. You guys should be happy you didn't hear me on screen the other day. I was mad. When I realized the entire time I'd been fighting with it, I was fighting with it for no reason. Although that looks pretty good. Okay, we got to find out why. Why is it gone from here but not here? Let's go back to development. Because it's all under... Like here, I need to remove some of this stuff. Do I want to do that? Isn't that everything that's just a part of my one panel? Maybe I won't. Maybe I won't hit delete because that one scares me. Really? Let's go look. You mean it adds a copy in here in the list, right? So in theory, doesn't that mean there should be another ADI? But that's the thing is that even this one shows the outline. This shows the outline, but it's not. I'll keep looking. Hang on. That's the only one I see though. It's got to be in that same profile. Because the HSI, yeah, there it is where we removed it. And there's where we removed that. Oh, shit. I'm a dumbass. Sorry. There you go. Get good with the steam gauges, dude. They're far more fun. They'll keep you so you. That's not it, is either. No, that was the one that we had earlier, huh? You'll find yourself far more involved in the aircraft when you learn to pay attention to the analog gauges. It's got to be in here, dude. Like there must be some sort of. So the problem to catch everybody up, here. We're trying to remove the white bezeling that we just talked about on the background, like on here, just like on this one. Okay? And when this is the title of this, Bendix KC55A HSI. But before we ever added this gauge here, and we only were messing with this one we hadn't even brought it in yet. We were only messing with this one. That same title was listed under the instruments. There's nothing specific to the ADI. Don't pay attention to this one. This was one that we were messing around with earlier. We didn't like that gauge. It was ugly. But so that's really weird. Heading bug, everything about this is referencing the HSI. I'm paying attention to its function lines. The heading bug, the vacuum flag. This is all HSI. But then why doesn't it bring up the heading indicator or the attitude indicator? That was the one for the Cessna 172. We got rid of that. Can I delete these from here? Will it clear it from here? I'm trying to make it to only what we actually have in there. Or do I need to close and reopen? I am so sorry that you weren't able to go and fly today. Must be really awful. I'm just kidding. I really am. I'd love to go flying, dude. Gosh, that'd be fun. I'm hoping this year will bring better things and I'll be able to finally get airborne and start my path. The money is finally starting to come back around from the debt I was left with, but now it's a matter of time. More so a babysitter. In the dev tab, list of instruments are all that you have downloaded, at least in the older version. Okay. Probably. I see what you're saying. Okay. But so we still can't find that ADI that's actually in it. Attitude indicator. Says it right there. Beechcraft attitude indicator. So then why can't we go to development and find that? That sucks because clearly, like the HSI, I'm hell bent on this now because the HSI did exactly what we want. That is perfect. That's exactly how I envisioned this. It looks great. So I'm annoyed. Let's see. Yeah, even and when I hit run, it brings up the HSI. Like it brings this up when I hit the run button. But then where the hell? Yeah, no, that's the ugly ass 172. Aspen, that's going to be that big one. Yeah, no, we don't want that one. No. I mean, that one might work, but that's not the one we were looking for. That's this one. Which, like I said, I mean, but it's generic and it looks generic. And these are all going to be the various autopilot systems that I don't know how these got ran. I never put those in there, but maybe they're in there by default. That really sucks, broski. I don't understand what we're missing. Well, how do you locate it? Tell me how to find it. While he's doing that, I'll go get our frame so we can start welding again. Ta-da! Just here? Actually, I don't have a problem restarting Air Manager too, since we're here. Air Manager isn't terminating. Doo-da, doo-da. Let me find Task Manager. Because clearly it's not shutting down. Did it finally stop? Nope. Well, now I can't do anything until I can figure out how to stop the damn thing. But I gotta figure out what it's labeled as in the services. All right, hang on. I'm still trying to find Air Manager in my... Let me close all these Googles out. Oh, look, 219 Microsoft Edges are running, and I don't use Microsoft Edge. Go figure. I can't even find the service to remove, to terminate Air Manager. But it is running in the background and clearly did not shut down correctly because I can't start a new one. It says there's already an instance of it running. Dude, no, it's not. No, it's not in the tray. No, you're fine, bud. Don't even worry about it. It just means it didn't shut down properly. Worst case scenario, I'll move on to something else because gotta weld these frames on, so it's not the end of the world. I'm just looking through Task Manager real quick to see if I can find it. That just means it's named something stupid, whatever service it's using. Yeah, like I said, it probably does. Just trying to figure out what the name of it is so I can kill it so we can relaunch it. Alright, man. Take it easy, Burger. Thanks for all the help. And yeah, we're going to weld the sliders on the back of the monitor for the monitor mount, and then we're going to call it soon, too. Search by username. Gosh, it still shows the calculator is running, and it's not. Not a big deal, like I said. I'm gonna give this one quick peruse through. If I don't find it, we're gonna move on to something else. Not a big deal. Oh, damn, I don't want to fuck with that one. Alright, well, not the end of the world. Dude, do not feel bad. We have more to do. And plus, this part's a bit more entertaining, honestly, for a lot of people. So now, we're going to go back to welding. The whole point of doing the gauges was to give us something to do while we were waiting for our pieces to finish, so we can get these welded on. So the idea here is we're going to have it like this. So the monitor is going to slide into the back. Let me expand that. Oh, you know what? I know what happened. Hang on. Filters. I do need my keyboard again, though. Oh. Yeah. We were doing the gauges while we were waiting for the printer to finish, so don't feel bad, bro. Oops. What's up, buddy? No, pretty much after we got off the phone, like I said, I got the kids some dinner and got things rolling there, and then time to get back after it, right? Move this out of the way. Pick this up so you can see better. There we go. So now the idea is that the monitor is going to slide in from the back, right? So I'm going to have it come from this side. So we're going to have a stop here, a stop here, and a stop down here. And then we'll lay felt down here and here and here. That one's going to be tough, but that way it doesn't scratch the monitor. Now, as we discovered, I should have made these a little wider and this a little further down. We sort of stretched the edge of the screen position, so it may be possible that I may be redesigning this whole thing at some point, and if I do, I'll let you guys know. But right now we're just waiting for our heater to heat up. And these go on like this. It should be good. I think we're going to go right in front. So I'm going to unplug this guy now. Hopefully it doesn't screw up the stream. Okay, everything's still good. So now we're going to sort of take this and see where we're at here. Yeah, it's right on the edge. You can definitely see a little bit of the bezel down there. But I don't know if that's going to bother me too much. I think it's still worth it to keep it as is. But I want to get an idea. Wow, this is going to be really close. Really close. Oh, I'm not going to restart the PC yet. That's not a big deal. So I think we'll actually start with this side. Get one right on the edge. That's how they're going to do. And then we'll go from there, because this is a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. A lot closer than I thought it was going to be. So, I guess we'll find out. And if it doesn't work, like I said, we print a new one. Not the end of the world, right? So this is going to be a little hard for you guys to see from this angle. I'm sorry. But we're just going to take our hot end of our soldering iron. Get it as flush as we can. You know what? Here. Should help a little bit. It's very fuzzy because my stupid hand is in the way. It's not fun if you guys can't see too, right? There we go. That's better. You guys at least get the gist like this, right? Keep them as flush as you can. Okay, same thing on the other side. Push down, give you a nice pressure. Oh, it's really weird holding it like this, so. There we go. Forgive the bad welding. This is very awkward at this angle. But it'll do the job. Oh no! Why didn't you guys tell me? I totally just did this backwards. Can we do it before it dries too much? Come on. Alright, I can fix that. It's upside down. This side's supposed to be down. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm glad I didn't do the other side first. That would have been a pain in the butt. Might still be a pain in the butt. There you go. Yay! Not too bad. That's why I do a light pass in the first run. Light pass on the first run, guys. I looked at that, I was like, damn, that's sitting awfully high. Glad I didn't do the inside already. That would have sucked. Now, if you wanted for extra strength, you could do a crosshatch. But I'm not going to worry about that in this one. The other thing I like to do is take some PLA or some filament and then fill in the gaps with it, just like you would if you were TIG welding or using a MIG welder. Same principle. But there. And then now is where this gets a little bit more tricky. But you have the monitor here. And that flex in that is good. That's what we want. That's what's going to hold it nice and tight, especially when we put the felt on. But that gives us a little bit of a room. Wow, look at where we cut that. Damn, we cut that. Right on the edge. Yeah, I haven't found a need to use anything else. It works perfect. Alright, and actually, right there. Right there is where I want this. I think it moved. Damn it. It did. Damn it. Okay. So, of course, right on the score line. So we're just going to leave the monitor attached to it. No, the heat shouldn't hurt it. That heat isn't localized on the monitor itself. So like this side, because it's where it's holding the weight of the monitor, we will use some filament here to fill in all these gaps. And that'll help beef it up a bit. And what I like to do with any of these kind of welds is I'll use PETG because it's a lot stronger. So give me a second, I'm gonna go get a piece of that. Where's my clippers? Yeah, it is a good soldering iron. Yeah, I've had it for a long time. I need to get some new tips for it. That's why I'm using one of my old tips for this. So now we're just going to take the PETG. Fill all that in. This is like my 5th or 6th time plastic welding, but welding, yes, I have. I actually just bought a new welder that I'm going to test out later this evening. But yeah, my dad used to own a metal fab shop, and before the economy really got bad, and I'm not talking about recent, like he closed the doors in 2015. But I want to say when I was like 15 or 16, it's been 20, 24 years since I worked with my dad. But yeah, he had his own metal fab shop. Did a lot of custom jobs and very artistic stuff too. And yeah, he taught me how to weld. So yeah. Funny enough, the one that I struggled with the most was TIG welding. I think now that I'm older and have a bit more understanding of how it works, I think I'd be able to do it, which is cool because the welder I got has the ability to TIG weld. Why did I say it like that? Weld? TIG weld? It's probably from talking to Bill earlier. Gave me that damn accent. Kidding, buddy. But I do like welding. Metal will always be my preference of things to work with. You can do anything you want with it. I'm not going to worry too much about the back of this. It's more or less just in case I slam the monitor into it. Hey, thanks, Beard. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah. You damn Texans. It's funny though with the technique though, because like I said, I was never very good with TIG welding. I tried it a bunch of times. Like anytime we were slow at the shop, my dad would let me, try it out. And oh, oops, I missed a text message. My bad. And I would try. It just, man, I could never get it. But MIG welding, I do obviously easy. I mean, I'm one of those guys who gets mad at that show Forge and Fire because when you watch them MIG weld, it's like, it's just not that hard. But I mean, I guess to everybody, that's an unfair statement. But MIG welding, I mean, you just pull the trigger, as long as you're at the right distance and your metal's clean and whatnot. But it is the same principle in the aspect of, I mean, you watch for the bead, just like with this, you're watching for your puddle. And move it along. But thank you. I feel like I still need to get a lot better at this. I think these are they're ugly. But we're getting there. I'm learning. But that's why I'm doing this, is to encourage all of you guys to do this. It's fun. It's fun watching the project come together that you're building from the ground up. And in many ways, it can be more expensive. I mean, but even if on the cases where it is more expensive, it's yours, though. It's your design. It's your way. It's the way you want it, And I think that's it, guys. So there we go. What's hanging up there? I think I'm lifting it. Oh, there's a burr. I see it. You didn't just scratch my monitor, did you, you jerk? No. Okay, it's just catching on the lip. No, you wouldn't, Fred. You got this. You wouldn't lose a finger. So here we go. This is the idea. Yeah, there's a piece of flash right here that's under there, so that's what's holding it up for a second. There it goes. It snaps right into place. So now, when we turn it over, you know what? So, get the stupid microphone out of you guys' way. There we go. And actually, that little bezel we were worried about, that's it right there. You see it on the bottom of that gauge? That's all you can see. So we put this thing right to the edge of the visibility range. Oh, I have the stupid flash on, don't I? Sorry. That's probably a lot better to look at, isn't it? There you go, though. So then the next step for the construction portion as I have my vape right there on camera. That's nice. Kids, don't do that. It's stupid. Okay? No vaping, no smoking. It's effing dumb. Completely effing stupid. Bad habits. But the next step here now, and this is a really cool monitor. I put a link in the chat, you guys. You guys should look for it. This stand slides off. I can actually pop the whole stand off if I want to. Like, it is really slick, so it's real nice when you're in the development stage. Like I said, I wish my dumbass hadn't put the feet on it yet, because then we'd be able to, but then again, I wouldn't have been able to weld that on, so that would have been an issue. But, like, let's see here. I can do, actually, yeah, never mind. Watch, check it out. I need something on this side. It's too counterweighted, but you guys get the gist, right? But there we go. We can work on it like that. If Bearded hadn't ruined my my air manager. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But there we go, guys. So the next step is we're going to get some vinyl to cover it all up. I need to, any of these large gaps, we are going to come through with the filament and fill them up. Then we're going to sand it and lay some vinyl on it. It would work the same, bro. It would do the exact same. The only reason why I like doing it like this is because you get full seam penetration. But that's why I come back with the filament, you know. So like these, I'm definitely going to have to fill, because even when I put the vinyl on, that's going to be a problem. You're going to be able to see those seams. So the reason why I like doing it like this is because it completely penetrates, right? But then I can just do that and then sand it down. But you actually get down into it, create that groove, where then we can line in here and really fill it and get that nice solid bond. You know, everything they don't do on that show, Forged in Fire, every time they break a knife on Forged in Fire, what do you see them do? They piece it together, right? And then they just weld down the line. You're getting no penetration, so that's why their knives are the ones that always break, and it drives me nuts. You have to cut it at a groove, so that way you have a void, and then you fill that void with your wire feed, and then you get an actual homogeneous piece of steel. Not that I'm upset about it or anything, because I'm not. Drives me crazy, dude. Thank you, Bearded. He says, there it goes. It's going to be like 2 years from now, dude. You're going to come into one of my random streams. We're going to be sitting there shooting the shit, talking. I'll be like, hey, do you remember when you messed up my air manager? I didn't know if you forgot about that or not, but I didn't. You didn't mess it up, bro. You didn't mess it up. Like I said, we still had work to do, so. That was just temporary. So yeah, I'll get all these grooves filled in like I'm doing here, and if I can stop creating more like I just did. And then we'll sand it, and we'll get some vinyl for it, and that's what how we're gonna end this stream tonight here in a little bit. Is we're gonna go shopping for some vinyl. So be thinking about what colors you guys think would go. We can either do, I want to do like a wood grain panel. And we can either do the same color that I did on the truck, because I still have some of that, although I've got more work for that to do too. Or we can do like a dark grain. I was thinking something dark. Or maybe like a cherry wood panel. That'd be kind of cool. I had a guy a while back make me a livery for the TBM that had a nice cherry panel. I loved it. He says, wow. I don't hold a grudge, though. If there was ever a time to invest in 3D printing, guys, it's now. As expensive as everything is going to become, you know, and again, we're not bringing politics into the channel. I don't care who voted for who. I love everybody. Everyone's welcome to have their beliefs, and I love and respect everyone for them. All of our beliefs come from a different place, so I don't want to bring politics in, but I'm just speaking to the facts. Things could get pretty expensive coming up here. So get into the DIY, man. Do it yourself. It's fun. You learn a lot. Use the time. And like I said earlier, you get to make it your way. And it's just not that hard anymore. I know it looks intimidating, but that's why I'm trying to show it here on the channel. I mean, like I said, I think this is the 6th time I've ever done this on plastic. I mean, you guys can see I'm still very much so learning, you know. Even with the welder, I just bought a $120 welder. It was a whopping 120 bucks. Now, you're not going to weld 1/2 inch with it, but it should be able to, I think it's going to be okay on the rare occasions that I go to 3/16. But for what we do in flight simulation, 16 gauge 3/4 inch tubing will hold up anything you want, and then use the 3D print to make your plastic frames. You don't need 3/16. You don't need anything heavy like that. You're not putting it under pressure. It's not moving around or going under weight or stress. Come on, melt out. You will find if you do like I'm doing and you use the PETG as a filler, it does take quite a bit more to get it hot. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. I'm still not convinced it didn't stop. We'll see. It may have just taken longer than I was giving it. I'm also an impatient son of a you-know-what. No, it is definitely running. It's just weird that I can't find it. Like, it's baffling to me. Close Bamboo Studio. We don't need it right now. Make sure I didn't miss it. It's just really weird. I just wish I knew what service I'm missing. It's using a service that I need to terminate manually, and I don't know what it is. Plus, I gotta call it soon anyway. Time to get the kids ready for bed. It's already 7 o'clock. We've been on for a while. But I'll be back on in a few hours. Oh, wait a minute. That might be it. I don't recognize this. Hang on. End task. That might have been it. Nope, it wasn't. Although it did start that process again. Oh, okay. Oh, nice, dude. Very nice. You have to let me know what you think of it. I think you'll love it. It's great. I need to get a hold of their Boeing equipment. I've been pestering my contact, but I guess they're having a hard time with all the chaos, which I get. Kind of figured that was coming too, you know. And it sucks. But hopefully things will all happen for a good reason. It'll work out for everybody in the end. That's what I'm hoping. Does Air Manager have a service? See, this is the problem with me. Once I get hooked into something like this, I just start going. Alright, let's look for name. I don't know what that is. Dude, the number of services Adobe puts on your crap, though. Dear mercy. That's another one that I've told to end like 12 times. No, you can't beat it. That is a fact, dude. That is a fact. They have definitely they've stirred up some messes with other companies. I'll tell you what. Not going to mention any names or anything like that. But there are some companies that I'm very aware are like legitimately pissed off at WinWing. What, this? Oh, come on, man. It looks like garbage, dude. In comparison? I mean, I'll offer the STLs and stuff. Like, you'll be able to download the STLs off my Patreon if you want to print it. But, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. It's nothing fancy, man. Hell, buy me the parts and I'll probably just make you one. Like, it's not... I mean, you should be paying me for breaking my Air Manager. I'm sorry. I couldn't even finish that one. Anyway, let's see here. I'm such an asshole. I am not a nice person. Yeah, I mean, well, so like the idea behind this is that's the other thing we got to look at too. You know what? We can bring the monster up itself. Hang on a second, guys. That'll work. They'll eat anything. Alright, so here we go. Now remember, we already discovered earlier that this is a very tight fit. You know what I just realized, though? That stand, oh, it almost reaches. But here, hang on. Let me finish doing this. So, that's the Mosa yoke. Anybody tell me what I did wrong? Because I did something wrong. Anybody know? According to our plans from last time. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's not going to ruin anything, but I did something wrong. These supposed to be over there. So, I mean, shit. Damn it. That sucks. Yeah. Yep. It was upside down when I welded it on. Yeah, the eagle is wrong. I mean, again, not the end of the world. It's not like it can't still be used, but definitely not the way I wanted that to go. So, we were talking about taking this off. And that's why, look at, that's why I didn't have enough space for the feet. Because it was up there. Damn. I'm not going to be happy with that. I've met me before. Actually, flying from the right seat isn't... It is a simple fix. You're right. I mean, it would actually be... So yeah, we would take this off, flip it up top. But... let's see. Ow. Man, that really cleaned up that fit, though, by doing that, interestingly enough. But so, yeah. if we were to do that, because that was the idea. That was how it was supposed to be. So that way you had main instruments in the center, or speed gauge, etc., blah blah blah, altimeter, vertical speed indicator, and then engine instruments, and then throttle. Don't act like you guys know me. I'm literally sitting here trying to talk myself out of doing that. Like, that's exactly what I was doing. I was like, it'll be fine. No, I'm sure it'll work. Like, that's what's going on in my head. The thing is, I'm trying to think about how I'm going to make that a nice clean cut where that's the hard part. I think versus, I mean, all of this together is only about 4-5 hour print. So honestly, I may just reprint it to be completely, because the other thing is I still wanted to fix that gap. And that is really tight still. But there's still that. So I'm still not crazy about this. I need an alpha to use as a reference though. I need the measurements. That's the only thing, is that with an alpha I wouldn't be able to test it. I've got the Bravo next to me. And that was the initial plan, so the Bravo's right there. That's what you Glad I'm not the only one who goes there. I'm glad I'm not the only one here who's still a child. Yeah, I think I'm just going to reprint it and do it right. I mean, and I could still use, I mean, I'm not going to just throw it away. You know, I'll find something, but like, I've got an edit to make here because this, I think the angle is actually okay. I think I had it slightly too far out over here, so I just need to bring this in. So basically, I need to take the angle and rotate it. But I think the angle itself is right. Yeah, the gap's going to piss me off. I definitely have to do that. So I think I'm going to reprint just this, get this fitted correctly. If you guys want to see what the last one was, holy crap, it was off. The first one we made on that first night of stream, hang on. Let me see if I still have it. Damn it, I think I might have thrown it away. I thought I still had it. But it was so bad. We missed so bad. And by we, I mean me. The first time, the first one of this piece that I made, it was like that. Like, missed by a lot. Yeah, and it would. And that's exactly what I was initially thinking, because I am going to felt the edges too. Because I don't want it, you know, the repeated rubbing on the sides will eventually wear it out and make it look like crap. But, yeah, I think I'm going to reprint it. I'll reprint it, re-weld it, fix this crap, because that's pissing me off. But at least you guys have the general idea. That still worked out really nice. Really nice. What do you mean by the threaded press and screw it all together? You mean here? We're screwing it to where? Yeah, it's a good concept. I got what I wanted from it, and I even said in the first video this was likely to be a prototype. Yo, shit. Damn, that thing's heavy. Screw all of these pieces together? Why? That seems like more work. That sounded so crappy. That seems like more work. If you have a link to like a YouTube video or something about it, show me. I'd be interested in it. I don't know that I've seen what you're talking about. Especially that it goes on the end of the hot end. But I'd like to see. Definitely. Let's shop for some vinyl. Pull this off for a second. Let's find the last stuff I bought. Okay, so here's the stuff that I used previously. And this stuff worked really nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is what's on the truck right now. Oh, brass screw inserts? But what would I screw it to? That's what I'm saying, though. You talking about screwing the panels together? I feel like this way would be stronger. Yeah, send me what you're talking about. The truck's getting there. Yeah. We still have more to do. So you guys want to see what's next on the truck before we get into vinyl shopping? So I've had it for only a couple of weeks and I'm already getting to replace something. Let me just leave that there. Yeah, no, I wouldn't put it on your panel. But so, you guys like seeing my butt? If you guys see that switch panel just to the right of the steering wheel with the CB mic on it, we're going to be replacing that already. Got a new project. Just got done the day before yesterday printing all of that. So now we're going to have an angled out switch box. That's where the ignition switch is going to go. Various switches, buttons, etc., windows. But now, instead of just being a square box, that one of these lids is going to fall off, I guarantee it, because it's not bolted or anything obviously yet. But it's going to sit more like... You guys get the concept. So now it's going to have a nice arch to it. We're going to re-vinyl it with the vinyl that's on the screen. It's going to be cool. super excited for all these projects. They make it fun, man. Keeps me busy. Keeps me focused on all the nonsense, or off all the nonsense of life, right? I have no problem saying that you need to buy a printer. They're absolutely worth it. Yeah, it's going to look good. I'm hoping to have that one done by early next week. I've already got all the switches. I'm waiting for the circuit board to get here. That's supposed to be here on Monday. The vinyl that's on the screen is going to match what's on the dash already. And like I said, I'll be streaming in a couple hours in the truck. So if you guys want to check out the dash, you guys see it there. But it's going to look really good. And then once I get everything positioned, then I'm going to 3D print panels to make an actual dash that will go sort of behind it. Just sort of fill in the voids and the empty spaces. But so for the plane, these are the kind of things that I was thinking about something like this for the plane, but I don't like the gloss. The high gloss would be a problem. I liked this one because it's not very glossy, but like we could do something like that. Or even something like that I think would look good on the gauge panel. And then like we were talking before, I think we will go ahead and make bezels that can insert into all of these. Give a nice round, squared off, look to them. I have the Bamboo Labs A1 printer. And you actually just missed a sale, but it's worth it. So I think I mentioned it before. I'm going to mention it again though. Oh shit. I left that welder on the whole time. I used to have the Ender 3 V2 Pro, and it required a lot of learning, a lot of maintenance, constantly bed leveling. You had to adjust it. You had to use the metal spacers. I can't think of what the word I'm looking for. They're not called spacers. A brushed aluminum. We can look. That's all wood grain, I think. Let me get the keyboard out. And the nice thing about the A1 is it took me about 15 minutes, literally, from the time I got the box to the time that I was turning it on. Then it goes through like a half an hour calibration process. Where'd you send it? Discord? Like I said, it went through about a 30-minute calibration. Where'd you put it? Sit. Where did you send the link, bro? I didn't get anything. Send it to me on Discord if you didn't. And then after that, it's been plug and play flawless ever since. I've had 3 prints ever fail on it, and that's because I put PETG in it, but told it was PLA, because my dumbass, when I bought it, didn't read and make sure it said PLA. Yeah, send it to me on Discord, because I think the live chat might be blocking it. At least on Restream. I can check the YouTube chat. But it works flawless. Like, it's one of those nice... About once a week, there's an option in the slicing software that asks you if you want to do a bed leveling and a flow calibration. So about once a week, because I'm printing almost every day, I tell it to bed level and all that. And that takes like 5 extra minutes. All right, let's see. Well, shit. Huh. Well, I'll be damned. I don't know why that's so soothing to watch, too. What that is. Well, and I've got a couple of boxes that I want to make next too, so that'll be nice. Sweet, good call. Where do you find those? What are these? Heat set insert? We'll come back to the vinyl. I don't care if they're stainless. I don't want to pay extra for stainless. Shit. And they're metric. Add to cart. Thanks. See, you're already making me spend money, so it's only fair. And then now let's go to the vinyl. What did we say? Brushed aluminum vinyl. If you ever wonder, people always talk about, oh, Alexa's listening to you. Oh, your phones aren't listening. If you ever wonder if your machine is listening to you, look at the freaking top line. I have never, ever, ever searched brushed aluminum vinyl wrap. Ever. Just want to point that out. That's why I trip out and people are like, no, I can't. Because Alexa will be listening to me as they're holding a cell phone. Get into a random conversation sometime, you guys, especially if you like absolutely hate the Green Bay Packers. Just start talking about the Green Bay Packers, sometime. Just like, Green Bay Packers, yeah, and Green Bay, yeah, and then the Green Bay Packers, do it for like 5-10 minutes, and then pull up Google on your phone, just put your finger on the search button, and see if Green Bay pops up. Anyway, so yes, we do have brushed aluminum. So let's see what we get. They are always listening. That's why when people are like, oh no, it's a conspiracy, I don't care. The things that they're hearing me say, I'm surprised they haven't driven and punched me in the face. What about like that? That would look pretty good. Or is that too snotty? Is that too snotty? And no, that's not a homo thing. I'm trying to be snooty because I'm about as far from snooty as you can get. Huh. That's not bad, actually. What about that one? Oh, that's kind of cool. Like a dark, black brushed steel. That looks kind of cool. What do you guys think? I want you guys' opinions. We're building this together. We're doing it together, man. Go team. Hashtag Green Bay Packers. I really kind of like the dark one. That looks nice. Yeah, the darker is cool. And it looks like this one might be sort of in between. The first one, you think? This one? That would look pretty slick in plain, huh? And then it would be black inserts or bezels that would go around the gauges. So you got to stay here though. Be thinking about that. The dark brushed aluminum with black, like they would be black gauge bezels. My hand has the shakes. I don't know why. Actually, I probably do know why. I don't think I've eaten anything today. Dude, we really pulled that right to the edge. That's crazy. No, so what I'm actually doing, it would actually be vinyl with adhesive backing. Because yes, you're right. So it would actually be a, let's see, vinyl, no, not adhesive remover. Let's just do that. So it'd be something like that. So let's see like what options we have here. Oh, that wouldn't look bad either. No, anything that I have to heat shrink, I wouldn't do. You're absolutely right. I've actually done vinyl wraps on my car before, and yeah. Or not wraps. I've laid vinyl on my car. It was a vinyl decal. That's a vinyl wrap. Should be something like this. And what's the dimensions on that? 3 by 20? That'll work. I don't know if they're going to have red, though. Oh! He speaks too soon. I just want to stay away from gloss. Especially if it's around those big TVs, the gloss will wash it out. Or the reflection of those TVs will wash it out because of the gloss. So gloss is a no-go. Because you guys won't, like on camera, it'll look horrible. You guys would absolutely hate that. Yeah, let's go back to... I was kind of digging... That gray leather would look nice too. Not quite the aluminum. Even that black looks nice. That looks like someone barfed on it. So that's where it'd be just like I did on the truck. So hang on. Let's go for a trip. Let's go for a field trip. Yay. You guys aren't going to be able to hear me real well, so pay attention. Because the mic's obviously over here. So, the point of the field trip was that I had to do the same thing with that one. Now, that one's obviously a lot thinner, but the actual... That was from a very old STL that ATS Accessories did, and so the circles aren't really circles. They're more octagonal, right? Or not, you know what I mean. And so when I cut those out, they were very choppy. Okay, and I just used a razor blade, you know, and went around the edge. And so they were very choppy, but then when you put the bezels on, it hides a lot of those blemishes. And so I imagine it would be the same situation here, as we'd have to take the razor blade and come at the edge like this to clean it. And it'd be a task. You're not wrong there. But then I think when we take the gauge inserts that I'm thinking of designing for this will be more individual. So it'll just be a cup idea. So obviously flares down into here, and then the layover will be the bezel. And what I'll probably do is do like a set here, and here, you know, each individual, but like this all would be one piece. And so that'll help lay down and hide any of those weird issues. As long as the flash pinches down in here, I think it'll keep everything nice and tight. I think it'll work out. I think it'll be okay. But if it doesn't, do you know what we do? We do something different. So let's go with the leather colors. Do we want black or gray? No way. And if it happens, it happens. I'll print another one. I don't want the plastic look. You know what? And I could tell right away why I did that. That's even the back. God, that should have been a dead giveaway. All the white burn spots on here, that's from the bed. I should have known right away that that thing was backwards. Maybe. I might do one of each. Who knows? Maybe. All right. I could paint it too. But then paint it what color? I'm actually not opposed to painting, and if I don't like the paint, I can do the vinyl on top of that. That would work. I'm okay with that. I'll see you back here when you reprint. Look at this guy being a smartass. I have to reprint anyway. You know what? That's a good point. I have to reprint anyway. So I'll tell you what. We'll do one of each. I don't mind spending a few bucks on this stuff. So I'll grab one of these. So are we doing gray or black? That's the big kicker. Or any of these. I don't know what color these are. What color are these? That's fine. I don't mind that bearded. I'm going to reprint it. Like there's no ands or buts. I am going to. Like I will have this reprinted tonight. Definitely. So yeah, that's fine. I don't care. I can do that. Let's see here. Cool. All right. Well, then I'm going to get... Mohammed, how are you, bud? You're catching us right at the end of this particular stream, but I'll be driving in a little bit. I think I'm going to grab the black, and we're going to see how it goes. And out of pure spite... Ah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. But I'm going to say that I like it because I don't want X to be right. So just keep that in mind. But, oh, hey, yeah, there's all the displays right there. Any of these, really. Well, you want 16-inch. But the next one they're also going to be designing, and we'll be doing that tomorrow when we jump on here for this, is we're going to design the same kind of slide pattern for the touchscreen. And the touchscreen we're going to put up in portrait mode so that way we can use... yes, sir, we are building this for Flight Simulator. All right, bro. Take it easy, man. Be safe tonight. The touchscreen one, we're going to be using vertically for our radio stack. So my goal is using Air Manager is we're going to have... The thing is, I also have a GTN, or GTN. I mean, I have a G1000 sitting up there, but I don't ever use it. But the GNS 530 I like, and I use a lot. And it's like a legit 530. So it's this guy. And so what I was going to do, which is very dusty, is pull its own mount off, take it off the mount, make a whole new bezel for what we're doing here, have it up top sort of cambered off like that, and then have my touchscreen as the remaining panels. So maybe things as simple as, you know, the transponder, etc., and go that route is what my goal is. That's what my dream with all that is. But for this particular set, it's going to be a yoke. This is for the Moza force feedback yoke. I have a HOTAS on it right now, actually. The AB9 shifter that I use for driving doubles up. It actually started as a force feedback flight stick. And then I also have the Moza MTP throttle that I usually put on there. But with those, I don't know if you guys saw my video the other day about the clamps that I use over there to hold my screens and everything. It also holds my Gear Falcon TPM that I put up there too. So a couple of different options when it comes to throttles, depending on which way I want to go. But the idea is to create a multi-function, you know, configuration here. I'll purchase that stuff off screen. But anyway, it's gonna be fun times. I can't wait to get it all done. I think it's gonna look really sharp. So I'll reprint it because, like I said, all these white spots should have been an indicator that this was the back of it. This happens from the bed. This is bed burn. So I should have caught that, which is kind of annoying, but that's okay. All good, man. Very good. We all like Sims here. We're a bunch of nerds on this channel. But anyways, guys, it is time for me to go find some food. It is almost 8 o'clock at night here, and I have not eaten today. And my stomach is now letting me know that. And anyway, so yeah, it is time. I'm going to grab a bite to eat. I'm going to get my kids to bed. And then we're going to hop on the truck and do some driving tonight. Hey, Jay. Picked a hell of a time. Bearded, thank you very much, man. You are the man. And I'll go ahead and restart my computer to fix my Air Manager. But anyways, guys, seriously, thanks for joining me, guys. This is Jay. I'm going to be on here in a little bit. I'm going to be back in about an hour to drive. But anyways, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me on these. It makes it a lot of fun. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. I hope you guys are learning something too. I really like the feedback and the interaction. One more shot, you know, just to fire one out just because it's funny. I really like when you guys break my software and tell me to restart things when I shouldn't. I'm sorry. Seriously, it's fun. And it's an interaction I definitely need in my life. So as always, guys, you know the drill. Stay safe and healthy. And I will see you guys in the next one. And that'll be in just an hour or so. All right, brother. You too, Bearded. Take care, man.